Hello, and welcome to my channel, Reddit Storytelling. Today we have an author, Willing Axe, who is asking his wife for divorce, in a not-so-great timing. And he decided to ask Reddit for advice. Let's see if you too would agree with the judgment of this forum at the end of the video. Feel free to put a thumbs up if you enjoyed this story. And subscribe if you haven't already. Am I guilty for telling my cheating wife, a day before our daughter's graduation, that I would be divorcing her? My wife and I have been married for 20 years and we have a daughter who's 18. She graduated high school a few months ago. Around 6 years ago, I found out that my wife was cheating on me and having an affair which lasted for a couple of months. I really wanted to divorce, but my wife was really remorseful. She quit her job, she started going to therapy, she promised all the reconciliation steps I asked for. Ultimately, I did decide to stay with my wife for her sake and for our family's sake too. For around 5 years, everything was actually going great, and we had date nights, romantic vacations, and we really loved each other. However, in the 6th year, the whole thing resurfaced back on my mind, and I just couldn't get my mind off it. I finally made my decision after a particular line from my sister struck a chord with me. She said, "Would you really want to use the gift of life and spend it with someone who had betrayed you so badly?" She told me this a couple of days before my daughter's graduation, and that's when I finally decided I couldn't do it anymore. A day before my daughter's graduation, I informed my wife of my decision and told her that I would be filing for divorce soon. My wife was shocked, and she cried a lot and told me she would do anything, but I told her that my decision was final. My daughter's graduation in itself was great, and I was really proud of my daughter. And my wife seemed happy too. But my daughter could sense something was wrong and asked me why her mom seemed down and trying to fake a smile. I told her not to worry about it and to just enjoy the day. The next day, however, I told my daughter I would be filing for divorce, and my daughter seemed shocked. She said how I could do this to her mom before graduation, and that's why her mom couldn't enjoy it. I told her it's none of her business, but we'll both always love her regardless. My wife and I are now going through divorce proceedings. Am I guilty? And now, let's listen to some comment before I give you the update. A comment from Gravy Train. You are absolutely within your right to end your relationship for whatever reason you have. That doesn't make you guilty. What does make you absolutely guilty is how you chose to do it, your complete lack of empathy and thought about timing your announcement. Even if just for the sake of your daughter. Your wife ruined your relationship 6 years ago. You ruined your daughter's high school graduation day. She's not going to ever graduate from high school again. You forever tainted this moment for her. Like others have said, you waited 6 years already. What would another few days have been? This was completely selfish, no consideration for anyone else. A comment from Ostrich Food. Agreed 100%. The other thought is that he actually doesn't love his daughter and just waited until she finishes school, so he doesn't have to pay child support. If this was true and I was the kid, I'd never speak to him again. A comment from Saveza me please. I would assume that you were going to being guilty with that timing. You didn't have to do that to your daughter. You have to update, as the responses are getting heavily against you. I mean, the little penis, go sleep with your sister, I hope your ex takes everything from you and alimony is overly rough. I don't believe you are an asshole for divorcing your wife. You tried to live with her infidelity but couldn't come to terms with it. You should divorce her. Your timing at the expense of your daughter equals guilty. Divorcing after failing to come to terms with your partner's past infidelity, not guilty. A comment from Faithlessness Away. I agree. The timing for telling his wife feels intentional. Like she blew up his world with cheating and he is using this moment to return the favor. I don't think he thought about the fallout for his daughter and how he'd be ruining her graduation, or just didn't care because he was the one pulling the pain strings for his wife. That makes him the asshole. Not choosing to leave her, he has every right to do that, cheater or not. It's hard to shake the feeling he picked this timing to inflict the most damage, payback. Also bet he thought that coming to the interweb as the person cheated on would earn him sympathy that overshadows him totally blowing up his daughter's achievement. A comment from Elegant Cockroach. I think you planned this for 6 years. No child support. Screwed up his wife's career by keeping her out of the workforce. But then again, you could be such an ass that it comes naturally. A comment from Schlemiel Schlemazel. You are guilty. You could have waited a few days. Also, if you were happy, why did you let that line from your sister affect you so much? Are you easily influenced by others? Is the appearance of having always had a perfect marriage so important to you? Isn't the point to get a deeper and deeper understanding of the other person and ourselves? A comment from you/Big Life. Cheaters don't really deserve that. He already had mercy on her by not divorcing her immediately when she cheated. A response from the author. Willing Acts. It wasn't just that line, and it wasn't a spur-of-the-moment thing. I was dwelling on it for the past year or so and talking it out with my sister. She told me that it was finally time I put myself first, and that I deserved to be with someone who would unconditionally love me, someone who would be there for me through thick and thin, and someone who would never betray me. A comment from Goose Lake Ballerina. I would have waited a bit after her graduation, since you already waited so long. Her graduation was marred due to her mom having to fake joy. Your daughter clearly picked up on it. Now, she finds out the day after, further marrying her memory of that day. You're not the asshole for deciding on a divorce, but your timing was a bit stupid. A response from the author. Willing Acts. I just wanted to be honest and transparent with my wife once I made the decision. I was also able to enjoy my daughter's graduation, and a huge weight had been lifted off my shoulders. My daughter's graduation day was the proudest day of my life. A comment from Logical XR. Are you having a midlife crisis? You forgave her. You waited 6 years. Did a young chick make it so these memories resurfaced? And then you made the graduation about the divorce. Your daughter will forever remember that. Yes, you are guilty. A response from the author. Willing Acts. My daughter did have a really good time, and the graduation party was great too. We took lots of pictures, and I'm sure she will remember the day fondly. The next day, however, I told my daughter about the divorce because she kept asking me about why her mom seemed so down. I didn't really want to break the news to her so soon after graduation, but I really had no choice because she wanted to know the truth. My daughter, of course, was really sad about hearing it, and she even broke down in tears, but divorce is just a part of life, and both me and her mom still love her. She is at college now, and I'm sure she'll get over it soon. And I don't really have a midlife crisis or some other woman. I'm not even looking to date, at least for the next few years. My focus is on myself and my family of origin. And now, for the update. Am I guilty for telling my cheating wife a day before our daughter's graduation that I would be divorcing her? My daughter called me last night and told me she came across the post I had posted, and after reading my comments, she asked how I could be so cruel to her mom. She then told me she was going to temporarily go low contact with me. I did tell her I know she's going through a lot and I'll always be there for her, but I'll respect her decision to go low contact. So that's not really the best news, but life does move on. Now a comment from the narrator. The timing was wrong. His eagerness to leave his marriage meant that the day of his daughter's graduation was the day he announced his divorce, making the community forget that his wife had cheated on him. That's why he filed for divorce. And it gives the impression in the end that he doesn't care about his daughter's feelings. In a way, he's become as selfish as his wife was when she decided to cheat on him. You wanted a divorce because your wife cheated on you. But don't disregard your daughter's feelings by simply telling her it was none of her business when you pass off her graduation day as the announcement of your divorce. Thank you for listening to this story. Let me know in the comments if you agree with the community. What would you have done in that situation? And for those who stayed to the end, I thank you. If you like this type of content, feel free to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. See you soon.